Hello, hello, Julie Bartkus here. I'm excited today to talk to you about healing broken teams. We are broadcasting live on StreamYard or via StreamYard to YouTube and my Facebook group, Leading Workplace Happiness, as well as to my YouTube channel. So if you find this link, you're here with me live. If you wanted to leave me a question or a comment, you can, but you'll have to accept that StreamYard link. Otherwise, I do come back and check comments after these training sessions wrap up. So feel free to leave a comment, whether you're tuning in live or to the replay. So I'm really excited to be here with you today. One of the things that I've been doing for over 20 years is healing broken teams. And what I do is I work with leaders on a process that I have called the detox system or the detox framework. I haven't quite gotten that second word nailed down yet. The detox methodology. What sounds good? But it is a framework for healing your broken team. And what we have to understand is that broken teams have broken people. And a lot of times in these scenarios, we even find that leaders themselves are broken. So, how do we rebuild trust? How do we re engage people with the vision? How do we attract new, amazing people into this team when sometimes we feel like pulling the curtains closed and saying, don't look behind these curtains because I don't want anybody to see what's going on, especially when new team members come in and you're like, okay, but don't look here. These folks here are dysfunctional. These folks here are broken, but we want new, amazing people to come in. So there really has to be a blending of attracting the right people and fixing the team or healing. We can't really fix, but healing the team that we have in place, right? We often use the word fix. And a lot of leaders over the past 20 years have said to me, Julie, can you just fix my team? And I'm like, no, I can't. But once we get in there and we really look at fixing leadership, that's where we could start the healing of a broken team. Teams get broken for all different reasons. And I've seen many, many things over the past 20 years in terms of what really breaks teams, in terms of trust, in terms of communication. And that could be a whole other topic that we go into. But if you're here tuning in, you probably have an inkling that your team is, in some regard, in some fashion, broken, and you want to change that. And maybe your atmosphere is one where there's gossip, there's drama, there's negativity, there's blaming, complaining, there's turnover, there's absenteeism, there's the lack of your ability to attract and retain the absolute best. And those to me are all signs and symptoms that, yeah, team members are broken, right? Or our team is broken. So if people aren't communicating directly with each other to resolve problems, if they're not speaking up at staff meetings, there's a lot of different symptoms of a toxic workplace, of a broken team. And we've touched on this briefly in some previous training videos, but in this one, I want to share with you the detox framework. And it's something I'm getting incredibly close to now because we're writing the book, The Leadership Detox. I won't give you the full title, but it's going to be called Leadership Detox, subtitle. And part of that subtitle is about healing your broken team. And in that book, the framework is that the letters in detox each stand for an element of what we need to be doing differently as leaders to really get a different result from our staff. So today I thought it would be really interesting and fun to share with you what each letter in the detox system or framework stands for. And if you would like a cheat sheet on the detox framework, let me know in the comments or shoot me an email and say, yes, Julie, I would love that cheat sheet. And then we'll let you know how you can get that when it's available. We're in the process right now of designing several different tools to help heal your broken team, to help you really cultivate that culture of success that you want. And if there's anything that you feel that I could help you with, feel free to leave a question, leave a comment, and I'll make sure to address those things on next video. All right. And I can't see who you are when you're submitting comments while I'm here live on StreamYard, but somebody says, yes, please, cheat sheet. So this is detox. And like I said, I've been working with leaders on the system for over 20 years, and I have seen amazing transformations from people who could not attract staff to, in a matter of 2 days, getting 50 applicants to walk in through the door. And the shift has to start from the top of our organization downward. And I think that we've matured a lot in our thinking over the past 20 years to know that we just can't fix a team, that we really have to look at the top down dynamic that's impacting the team. And that's what the detox framework is really all about. It's that top down dynamic. It's about taking responsibility for your organization, looking at it and going, isn't this an interesting picture that I created? So there's a sense of responsibility in that terminology that really empowers you to say, I created this, I can change this. Whereas if we say, fix my team, fix them, there's not a lot of power that then we have with those words to change things so that the team will be healed and so that everybody will be performing as we would love them to perform. So I will reveal detox. I will create a cheat sheet for this and get you that. But I also want to let you know that this is a dynamic that takes place. And it has to be, like I said, from the top down. There has to be a sense of responsibility with the detox framework. So here we go. Let's roll this. Let's go through this and see what we come up with. So the D in the detox framework that I work with leaders on is desire. Desire is incredibly important to me because it fuels the vision. But a lot of leaders forget what their true desires are, or we judge our desires and we don't really honor them and use them as the foundation for building an incredible vision on. And your desires, if you're in a leadership role, personally and professionally, impact you tremendously. And I really believe in the old saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And when you're in leadership, you often give your heart and your soul to everybody else around you. And you often forget about yourself in the process. So, what we do with my detox framework is really pull you back into the picture so that we're creating a happy you first, and then working on creating the happy team second, not in the opposite direction. So we're not looking at the team saying, all right, how do we make everybody happy? And then when they're happy, the leader's going to be happy. In order for you to be authentically and genuinely happy, you've got to know, well, what is it that I truly desire? But a lot of leaders are left scratching their heads with the question of, how did I get here? How did things get to be such a mess? And it's like the old story of that frog boiling in the water. Have you heard that one? Where they say that if you take a frog and you put him in a pot on the stove and you slowly increase the temperature, that frog doesn't realize that it's slowly boiling to death because the temperature just gradually increases. And a lot of us in our leadership roles are like that, where we're this frog in this tepid water, but then the temperature's rising and it's increasing. And before we know it, we're like, whoo, everything's a mess. How the heck did we get here? And when you think about your desires, I want you to start writing those things down and think about the question, what is it that I really want? So, with my team, what do I want? With the people I want to attract, what do I want? With the situations that transpire in the workplace, what do I want? With the things I desire in my personal life, what is it I really want? And create a list of those things, as many that you possibly can, and use that to fuel yourself, because it's only the point when you get back in touch with what it is that you truly desire will your transformation begin. But if you deny and if you judge and go, nope, I don't need that, or oh, it's only this industry and we're only capable of attracting, breathing, living bodies, we can't be too picky, then that's what you're going to be settling for. So now is the time to really write down this question: what do I really want? What do I really want? And it seems like an easy one, but for many leaders, it's incredibly difficult to answer. So this is what we work through in the D in my detox framework. You like that? If you do, give me an oh yeah in the comments. If you're tuning in live or even to the replay, let me know. I'm going to go on because this is a short little training. And I know for me, time always just flies by like so fast. And if you want to stay connected with me, please, please, please come and join our Leading Happiness Facebook group, Leading Workplace Happiness Facebook group. And we're also going to be starting a podcast, Leading Workplace Happiness. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be just short daily 5-minute strategies and ideas for really creating a happy you so that you have and can create a happy team. But to me, you matter. You're a big part of the equation, right? It's not just about making the team work. It's about making the entire picture work. It's about making your entire life work. The E in the detox framework is for energy. And we really want to be looking at what is your energy and answer the question, how do I really feel? How do I really feel? And that's the big question for the E in detox, because a lot of times we pull out that, I call it the smile on a stick, right? It's like you have it in a stick and you put it over your face and it's like, oh, client coming in, oh, staff member coming in, oh, job interview. And you keep putting that smile on your face. What we want to do is, as authentically as we possibly can, is to shift your energy so that you, first and foremost, re engage with your vision and that you get your energy set back on fire. Woo! Because when your energy is failing, when your energy is at a low level, your team's energy and the people in your life will also replicate that level of energy. And I find in most of our workplaces that if we've got this positive energy, it's like staff members will duplicate that or replicate that like 50%, right? But if we've got this negative energy that we bring in, it's like, oh, everybody's going to be negative. They're going to be duplicating that by like 150%. And that's because negativity is highly contagious and it spreads further and faster than positive will. But thank goodness the positive energy still spreads, right? And it's still contagious. But you've got to really make sure that your energy is up and on fire, especially if you've got people down here and you want to bring them up here when you're up here. So you want to really tap into your own energy source and say, how do I really feel? Now, how do I feel differently? So when we look at your desires, which is the D in the detox framework, and we combine that with energy, you're starting to build the foundation for everything else that you're going to be implementing to experience a transformation in your team. So we take desire, we combine that with energy. Answer the question, how do I really feel? And then answer the question, how would I like to feel? Would I like to feel more positive, more productive, more dynamic, more of a role model for what I would like to see in my workplace? And then how do you start incorporating things that will make you feel that way? And I want to share with you a little secret that's going to transform the way that you feel. And it also transforms the way that your team feels. But it's really going to start from the top down. And that is the thoughts that you're thinking. The thoughts that you're thinking are going to determine the energy that you're feeling, right? So if you're feeling Sunday evening, oh, who's going to call out sick tomorrow morning? You're feeling that energy. You're thinking those thoughts. It's like this vicious cycle, repeating cycle that you get caught up in. But if you go Sunday evening and go, nope, I'm going to interject a different thought here. And I am incredibly excited for everybody who is here on time and ready to go. You're going to feel optimistic. You're going to feel happy. You're going to be feeling hopeful. Where previously with the negative thought, you were feeling hopeless. You were feeling like giving up. So these two components together are incredibly powerful. The T in detox stands for team transformation. And once we do the work with D and E, which is basically leadership only work, then we have to look at our team and say, what is the transformation that I would like to see within them? And it's really important when we get to this point to start looking at, well, what are the symptoms that I'm seeing in my workplace? So we start looking at everything that we don't want. What is it that we don't want that's currently unfolding? The drama, the negativity, the gossip. And we have to understand that those things are symptomatic of other things in your workplace. And we could target just the symptoms, but what you want to do is really target and understand what is the cause of the symptom. What is it that's really, because if it's cause and effect, cause and symptom, we really want to understand, why are we experiencing this symptom? And a lot of times we don't get to this place, especially when you're doing this on your own. You start looking at those symptoms, trying to treat them, trying to put band-aids over them. And then it's like you're caught up in the cycle again, where you don't get a permanent solution to these challenges. And some people even come to think this is just the nature of the industry. This is just the nature of the work we do, that we're always going to be looking for staff, training staff, hiring staff, rehiring staff, trying to tell everybody to be positive and whatever it might be. But when you implement the detox framework, you'll get and arrive at a whole new destination that I promise you is incredibly dreamy. So we have to look at team transformation. And I encourage you here to start with a list of all the things in your workplace you see that you don't want, and then work on transforming those things into, well, hey, what is it that I really want? And we identified some of those with our desire step in our framework. But here it's going to take a little bit of a deeper path where we're really looking at the team and what we want to transform and identifying those components. Then the O in the detox framework is really about open communication, open mindset, about you being open as a leader. And you have to look at the transformation that you want, what it is that you desire, the energy that you're going to bring in, and the transformation that you want to see within your team. And now start really thinking about ripping band-aids off. Because chances are you have put many band-aids over situations, and those band-aids that you've put on haven't been long lasting. And perhaps you've even left those band-aids on for way too long. And then when you go to rip it off, it's, you know what a band-aid looks like underneath when you keep it on for too long? Not very pretty, right? So you rip that band-aid off, and underneath it, there's like pus and blood and gross things you don't want to look at. And that's what happens in our organizations too, is that we keep piling band-aids on, and we really don't want to go through the process of taking them off so we could see what's underneath. But with the O in our detox framework, we really got to rip those band-aids off so we can see the true reality of what we're dealing with. And then we put systems into place and communication modalities into place that allow us to have more open and direct communication, to share our goals, to share the vision, and to hopefully get our team on board in an excited energy fashion, right? For our E and detox, to get our team on board and excited. But that only happens with open communication and an open mindset. And so often we're hiding things. We're like, okay, don't tell anybody yet. This is going to go down. But it's funny how the walls have ears, and those ears tell our staff everything, only in parts of the truth. So they don't have the whole picture, and then they're left gossiping. The X in the detox framework is the X factor. I mean, what else do you get that starts with X, right? But it fits beautifully. It's the X factor. So in the book that I'm writing, Leadership Detox, the X is all about identifying that one thing that will change everything else, that one thing that's going to make a powerful impact. So when we go through this detox process, when we look at what is it that we really need to change, I want you to understand that there's one thing that you can target. And that one thing, here's the big juicy secret, is the cause of the biggest, most painful symptom you're experiencing in the workplace. Does that make sense? So it is the cause. So it might be Maybe a cause is we're doing untimely performance reviews. Maybe another cause is we occasionally get caught up in the gossip ourselves and we're gossiping with team member Susie about team member Jonathan, whatever it might be. So there are many different causes of the symptoms that we're experiencing in the workplace. But what you want to do is identify the one cause of the most painful symptom you are experiencing. And this is what we help our clients do extensively. And if you feel like, man, I really need a little bit more on this, Julie, yes, we'll get you a cheat sheet if you comment cheat sheet. I haven't created it yet, but we will get it created for you. But you could go to Ask Julie. I think it's or juliebartkuschat.com. There you go. juliebartkuschat.com. And you can apply for a free one-on-one session with me if you feel so inclined to do so. But this is pretty deep. Especially when you get to the X, you've got to understand, well, what's the cause of all the symptoms? And you might list out 20 or 30 different symptoms, but you might be, okay, well, what's causing these things? What's causing the negativity, the gossip, the drama, the blaming, the complaining, the tardiness, the absenteeism, the turnover, the low morale? What's causing it? And that's really what you want to look at, is the cause of the symptoms. So that is my detox framework for helping you heal a broken team. And as you can tell, part of it is about healing yourself, understanding your dysfunction, understanding what you created, and transforming that. And then we move in to transforming your team. And I think the process is incredibly beautiful and it's joyous, and you could start feeling a transformation pretty quick. Feel free to reach out, ask Julie Bartkus or chat, Julie Bartkus, sorry, juliebartkuschat.com, or comment cheat sheet, and we'll make sure that you're plugged into the cheat sheet when it's here and ready for you. And then in the near future, be on the lookout for the Leadership Detox book. I think it's going to blow your mind away and really provide you with concrete strategies for making that transformation happen, the transformation that you desire and the transformation that you most importantly deserve. It's been a pleasure being here with you today. I'll look forward to our next little training segment. And until then, have an amazing day and feel free to reach out.